it's lights out and very good. It's a good start from both Mata and Cobb. Getting the better exit, and both of them spun simultaneously. Taking it to the Camel straight, still going side by side as well. Side by side into the Curva Grande. Are they going to keep it side by side with Iceman? Yuri going for the dive bomb. Can he make it work? He's gone off a bit. And look at that. Oh, right here, right now. Otherwise, the undercut will not work. It's going to be very, very close. Iceman just gets ahead of Kyle there. Mata comes across the line, and he's your VSL Season 6 champion. Hello, everybody, and welcome along to VSL F1. We are at the crunch point of the season, and it won't be very long before we find out who will be the VSL Season 7 champion. And we are here at Austin, Texas, the Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix. Remember the tracks that F1 visited in America before, such as Watkins Glen, Long Beach, and Indianapolis. Well, we don't really want to talk about Indianapolis in F1 because it does not go well. But anyway, 5 races won by Mercedes in the hybrid era. Raikkonen in 2018, where he ended his longest streak without a win. That was probably one of the most memorable wins for that Grand Prix in general anyway. So, my name is Jess, your commentator for this evening. We've got 17 drivers tonight who are ready to give battle around this track. It can be a penalty central track, not as much as previous games around here. You could get away with some things as well, and obviously the curbs are a little bit less deadly this game as well, but also the drivers have got to be wary of the S. We'll talk a little bit about the obviously standings, the driver standings, the constructor standings a little bit later on before the formation that, but we can look a bit at the track that we have in front of us around Circuit of the Americas. So track 5.5 kilometers long, 20 turns, 9 to the left and 11 to the right, 2 DRS zones for overtaking, 1 at the start finish straight heading towards and then 1 at the back straight turn 11 heading towards turn 12. So plenty of opportunities, and Charles Leclerc set a lap record back in the day in 2019 as well. Will we see some lap records here? We'll have to wait and see. So without further ado, let's get straight on with the qualifying session. So, everyone is on their out laps at the moment. Now, if you missed last week's race, we were at Australia. Things did get a bit hectic with some incidents, but it was Panos that retook the championship lead after last week. Quite a close gap still, though, between himself and the other drivers, but 4 drivers could potentially still win this championship. And obviously, I will be doing permutations as the season goes on towards the end, so you will be more aware. I'll be starting the permutations for next week, by the way, because some people could be eliminated after next week, so which is quite close indeed. So, Panos with the Aiden Jackson helmet. Here we go then, as he starts his lap around the Circuit of the Americas. So, you're going to be heading towards turn number 1, then clip that left apex just a little bit. And now you're going to be heading towards turn 3 to 9, the S's section. You take it flat out with a slight turn on the steering wheel, cutting the inside curbing with the whole front left wheel. Trail braking, I'll have to say, is very important, and he has invalidated his lap. So let's see if I can go on board with someone else. What about Matt? No, he's on inters. Interesting tactic that he's gone for the intermediate tyres today. But not surprised that he's done it. He doesn't want to use that many soft tyres. But it is a short qualifying though. So that's what struck me to be very, very confusing. But anyway, let's see if we can go on board with someone. I think there's going to be a lot of people that will be invalidating today. So let's see what this man, Ahmed, can do in the Mercedes. Heading towards turn 1. Always runs the risk of incidents around here. Wide entry to the corner can encourage drivers to go for overtakes here. Avoid going for dive bombs though, because otherwise it could be a bit of an issue. Turn 3. Remember this Maggots and Beggots Chapel in Silverstone? Well, this is what Herman Tilke tried to replicate around this circuit. Trail braking is important when you go down to about 5th gear around here. and you can go down into 4th gear, heading towards turn 7 and 8. Then up the hill, and you're going to be heading towards turn 10 and 11. Another kink that's flat out, and then turn 11 is quite low speed. Now, this set of straight can be very blinding for the drivers, because obviously it's clear at the moment. So you've got to be aware of your braking zone. For me, some drivers like to brake at the 100-meter board, and this driver has decided to as well. Past turn 12 and into turn 13 and 14, treat that as one long right-hander, and it is quite difficult. And now turn 15 and 16, another pair of corners to treat as one turn. Topping off at 5th gear on the exit, and then heading in towards 6th gear. Turn 17 and 18, you need to be all the way towards the left here, and then towards the right in the final corner. He almost got it invalidated there, but he has not, luckily. Final corner he goes, and he messed up a little bit, but he's got a lap in at least, which is all good. 134.193. So that's everybody on the softs that's done their flyers. We're just waiting for Casper and Kyle to do their laps at the moment. Now, whilst we wait for those drivers to do the laps, I'm just trying to have a look at what the steward said about last week. There was an incident involving Iceman and Matter, and it was a steward's verdict was a 10-second penalty to Matter, which meant that Matt dropped to P10 and Decker Matt Ryan moved up a place. And we saw obviously Cliffy won the race last week, and Cliffy was absolutely dominating. It was crazy, and due to Ben not being very happy about what's been happening and VSL the last couple of weeks, he has left the league, unfortunately. A bit of a shame, but hopefully he will come back in the future as Casper is about to start his flying lap. Kyle in the other Alfa Romeo is also doing that at the moment. Looking very, very good in sector 1, though. Nice and purple indeed. So I wonder how he's going to do for the rest of his lap. We're starting to see more drivers get very, very close, and the track will be its most grippiest at around about 2 minutes to go. And we'll see drivers coming out of the pits now, ready to start their second lap, Ryan Berry being one of them. There's about 6 drivers yet to set a lap time, so hopefully they will soon. Brandon, who is on reserve tonight, is going to be on pole right now with a 1:32.6. So we'll see Casper as he's furthest. Nope, he's not. He's backed off a little bit. So let's watch Carl, actually, as he heads towards the right hander of 15 and 16. Didn't see what his sector 3 was like, unfortunately, but I didn't think it was going to be faster than what Brandon could do in P1, but you never know. Final corner he goes. Probably in the 1:33s, I reckon. Close, 1:32.7. So very, very close to Brandon's time. If he found just a 10th more, he would have been on pole position. Who else on the lap? Pete is on the mediums. Pete is looking for a much better result tonight. He's had not the best couple of races here at VSL, but still time to improve as he heads towards the final corner as well. Here he comes. P6, 1:33.2. A respectable lap time on the mediums. The fastest medium time right now is Kieran with a 1:33.159. And then we got Ryan Berry, who is yet to set a lap time. He's on the mediums as well. We'll see how he does. Don't forget him and Deck have had a little bit of a bet going on this season. Ryan Berry being just ahead of Deck, also known as Acorn this season so far. It'll be interesting to see the outcome of the bet at the end of the season. Don't forget, we're going to be going through the whole calendar as it was in 2021. So, obviously, the drivers will be visiting tracks and they may not like. And don't forget, Abu Dhabi is one of those tracks. Honestly, Abu Dhabi, it's a Marmite track on this game. You either love it or hate it. And there's some drivers, well, the layout hasn't changed, obviously, to the layout that the real-life drivers raced last year. So Ryan Berry, he's got to come across the final few corners now. As a few drivers are going into the pits now. What can he do in that Alpine car? He was last, now he's in P13. Still a little bit of time to find, but still a respectable lap time from him. At least a lap time on the board. Mata, who's currently second in the championship. Didn't want to be dropped down to 10th after last week, but he's still close to Panos, and that's all that matters. And all it takes is for one driver to have a bad race, and it could swing the championship in your favour. So, Mata does not, he just can't give up. He just can't. He just got to keep focused throughout the season. And he started off quite poorly, actually, himself. And then he really started to pick up a little bit. He started to get used to the game as well. He was obviously a lot happier as well. And he started to go back to his old self, like what we saw in VSL last season, where he was absolutely dominating. And he still has that George Russell helmet, which you can't get anymore if you didn't get the last podium pass. So, but if you did have the podium pass from last time and you unlocked the helmet, you can still have it. I probably might do the same for my next league race, actually. But anyway, we'll see what he does from P16. Can he get the highest medium lap time? The quickest medium lap time, I should say. The quickest medium lap time at the moment is Kieran at 1:33.0. So you'll need to be in the 1:32s to match that. It's going to be close and tight. 1:33.047. Just a few 100ths of a second separating between himself and Kieran. Pretty decent for him. So second fastest on the mediums. Yuri looking quite good as well, down in 10th. And if you want to start, really if you want to start on the mediums inside the top 10, and you put a lap time like that, then that's pretty good. So Yuri would potentially want to start that. There's 6 minutes left to go. Casper hasn't set a representative lap time yet, and still a few drivers that can go even quicker. Let us know your predictions in the chat. Who do you think is going to be getting pole position here today in Kota, as we're seeing more people going to the pits now? And we see, I did a race around USA last week. It was only a test race for another league, but still, I did a league race where it was very difficult to manage the ERS at times. But there was plenty of times where you could save a bit of ERS around here as well. Potentially in the low speed corners. But I'm going to obviously mention about the strategy as well, because the strategy can be quite difficult as well. The soft to medium strategy, even though it's doable, it is very, very hard. Like, you have to pit right on the limit if you want to do soft to mediums and make it work. Because otherwise, you're going to be... I was almost in puncher territory last week on the softs, because I did soft to medium, because I qualified inside the top 10. So, I wonder if the drivers will be facing a similar situation. So, we've got Pete who's opted for the soft compounder tyres now, so we'll see if he's quicker than his medium time, which he is at the moment. Purple set to 1. And he's done a stupid thing and he's invalidated tyres. Kev Rusky come across the line in P1 on 1:32.2. If that's not on low fuel, that is pretty... Actually, it is on low fuel because he's got the red warning light. But decent lap time from Kev. In the standings, he's currently sitting 15th. He's about 30 or so points behind Cliffy. Still got a lot of work to do, but obviously Cliffy's not here tonight, because obviously he's a reserve. Anyone else that's going quicker? Flexi, Pete's teammate, is coming towards the final sector, final corner, and he's invalidated too. So he's going to be going into the pit lane. And then that just leaves people to go on at their outlaps for one final time. Will people try and get 2 laps here? Ideally, don't really want to be doing 2 laps on the same set of tyres around here, because obviously you would have to do the undercut and you have to stretch your mediums out for so long. You're going to hope for a safety car. if there's no safety cars around USA, they're going to struggle to stretch the soft medium strategy. We could see people play it safe and do softer hards maybe, but I wouldn't risk the softer hard strategy. The hards obviously are a lot slower here. I've driven the hards around here. It's just not viable at all. So, here we go then. Panos, our championship leader. Kai sitting in second. Can he get one better than that and find a few attempts to get pole position? And if he sets some time now, that's going to put a lot of pressure on the drivers yet to settle up. Like, obviously, Kyle, Brandon, Mike. Mike's up there as well, to be fair. The two Haas drivers are doing a brilliant job as well up there. So, well done to them. Bit of yellow flags, but I think it's just people moving out of the way. That's one Alfa Romeo that's just moved out of the way. I don't think that seemed to affect Panos very much because he's 2 tenths up on his previous best. Not quite enough for pole yet because Kev is still faster. Actually, no. Panos is purple sector 1 then. So, obviously, Kev would probably go faster in sector 2 or 3. So, he's got to replicate that pace in both sector 2 and sector 3 if he wants to be pole Panos. So, we'll see what he can do. DRS activated quite quickly, actually. And he's got to manage his ERS perfectly as well. Turn 12 and into turns 13 and 14. Now another purple sector. This is good. 5 tenths up. That would definitely put him on pole position right now. I'm loving this lap from Panos. He's on it. He's got low fuel. And if he wanted to, but I don't advise him to, he would probably potentially go on another lap as well. So, carrying all the speed that he needs, using as much curb as he is allowed to around this track. Final corner, can he get pole? He's the first man into the 131s, incredible, 131.987. We've got Kev's teammate on a lap, Ahmed on the mediums. He's on 2 lap on mediums though, but he's as invalidated, so that will be his qualifying done and dusted. Who's next will be... no, it's not Ryan Berry. It might be one of the Williams. It's Matter on his outlap. And I believe it will be the 2 Red Bulls on their outlap as well. No, not Newgarden. Newgarden's not on his outlap, so let's go on board with him. 8 tenths up on his previous best. So he would probably be near Tony, where the Tony range at the moment. So he'll probably try and get P15. Can he find a miracle in the final sector? We also got an Alpine behind him too that could potentially go quicker. I believe Tony will be on his outlap though, so... But here comes Newgarden, 133.7. P12. So he's gained a second in the final sector. That is crazy right now. Tony is about to start his final lap. Casper, purple sector 2, looking impressive. But let's watch his teammate Carl, who's about to start his final lap. Pete, what about him? What can he do? He's about to start his final lap too, as well as his teammate. We've got the Alpha Towers as well on track, starting their final laps. Matt Ryan could not improve, unfortunately, but let's watch Casper. He's looking quick. He almost got the win last week, but he made quite a few mistakes. Could he challenge for pole this week? Not quite. P3 for now. Both Panos and Kev are in the pits. But can anyone else challenge him? Kieran! 3 tenths quicker than Panos. Where did that time come from? 131.679. Now I have to say that's crazy. The amount of time he found in that final sector. The checker flag has fallen. Kieran could go again if he wanted, but I don't think he could go again. But Mata is quicker in sector 2 by a whole second. You've seen the likes of Panos and Kieran. The track is getting grippier and grippier. The later you are out, the better the track is for you. And it's more rubbered in. Can Mata beat Kieran and Panos? Or could Kieran take a surprise pole position? Don't forget Kieran has won a race here this season in VSL. So it won't be much for shot. But can our reigning champion from last season get pole by 2 tenths? Yes, he could. 131.4. We got Yuri, who's binned it in the pit, so he's not going to improve. We have got Pete, who's going to cross the line for one final time. He has not invalidated, luckily. So we'll see. Respectable lap from Pete. P4. Loads of time he's found there. Flexi comes across the line. P3. So Team McLaren boys are looking fast. Then it's the two AlphaTauris. We've got Matt Ryan who's going into the pits. And then we got Brandon P4. So that just leaves the two Haas boys. I wonder if Kieran has slowed down a bit. He hasn't validated anyway. So unless Mike could pull a miracle, let's go on board with Mike actually. There we go. Nope, he's not gonna get pole. So Matter is on pole from Kieran. And both of these drivers are in the top 4 of the championship. Obviously Kieran in P4 at the moment, Matter in P2. So, and obviously Flexi is P3 in the championship, P3 on the road. The only one that's not in the top 4 that is in the top 4 of the championship and is leading the championship is Panos. So he's got a lot of work to do this race, but never say never. And Kieran had a little bit of glory there, and obviously Matter stole it away from him. So we'll look for your qualifying results. So Matter from pole, Kieran in second, Sam in third, Brandon 4th, Panos 5th, Pete in 6th, Kevin 7th, Casper in 8th position, Akon in 9th, Carl in 10th. Then we got Mike, Ryan Berry, Tony, Matt Ryan, Yuri, Newgarden, and Ahmed. The top, pretty much top 9, top 8, separated by just under a second. So, without further ado, we will go through the standings. Hopefully no one rallies up early this week, because I had to rush through the standings last week. It was quite embarrassing, but there we go. So, your standings as of last week in Australia were Panos leading the way on 215 points. Second is Matter on 209. Third is Flexi with 205 points. Fourth is Kieran with 178 points. Fifth is Kyle, 146. Sixth is Ryan Berry, 127. Seventh is Casper, 112. Eighth is Iceman, 91 points. Joint ninth is Akon and Tony with 87 points. 11th place is Pete with 83. 12th is J-Luke on 76. 13th is Hatara on 75 points. 14th is ERT Cliffy on 67. 15th is Kev with 43 points. 16th is Matt Ryan with 36. 17th is Brandon with 30 points. 18th is Mike with 26 points. 19th is Yuri with 22, joint with Lee as well in the Ferrari. Next page then, Ahmed in 21st on 22 points, not 22nd, what are you on about? Then we got Slenderman on 20, Fatinho on 18, Newgarden on 12, Risky on 11, Dave on 10, Maverick on 0, as well as Beaker, Delta, Petrodats and Goodlib. Constructors Championship looking quite close. We'll see how this plays out. Alfa Romeo leading, 318 points. 2 points over Williams in second place. McLaren in third, 288 points. Fourth place is Alpine, 239. Fifth is Ferrari with 237. Sixth is Haas with 224. Seventh is Aston Martin with 169. Eighth is Mercedes on 86. Ninth is AlphaTauri on 78. And 10th is Red Bull in 42 points. Last of the standings, but they could try not get last. They will need to get some good results though, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And cheeky plug of our sponsor for this season. We are proudly sponsored by Rogue Energy. If you want to get 10% off their products, you can go onto their website, rogueenergy.com, and use the code VSLF1 for 10% off. That is VSLF1. I believe you put it in the checkout. And that would really help us, and that would really help Rogue Energy, because they do some very great products. So check out their website, once again, rogueenergy.com. So, the countdown is ticking, which means we are about to start with this race then. Who's excited? Let me know your predictions in chat as to who you think will win this race. I've got quite a few predictions myself, but I'm a bit worried I would jinx it a little bit. But you know, obviously a 50% race. One-stop strategy is either most likely going to be soft to mediums or mediums to softs. Formation lap is on, so let me get the telemetry stuff sorted a minute. And then let me switch seas a minute. There we go. There's the puppy. And it would help if I get the tyres up. There we go. So obviously the top 10, since they qualified on the soft compounded tyres, they will have to start on the soft compounded tyres. But let's have a look at the tyres from people outside the top 10. So, Mike's on the mediums, Ryan Berry's on the mediums, Tony's on the mediums, Matt Ryan's on the mediums, Yuri's on the softs, New Garden's on the softs, and Ahmed's on the softs. So, Yuri and New Garden, and so is Ahmed, would probably want to get out of the way of the medium runners very quickly, because otherwise, what's the point of them being on the soft tyres? If I was starting outside the top 10, I would have chosen the medium straight away. The alternate strategy, I've seen it in other league races, I've commentated on a league race, where someone started as high as 12th, went on to win the race by doing medium to soft. So Ryan Berry and Mike are in a pretty decent position to make that happen. They've chosen the right tyre for it. But you've got to have the pace to make it work. And the question is, do both of these drivers have that pace? So, we will guide on board with our third place man, Flexi, who's currently third in the championship, as I was saying. And we'll see how they approach the start then. If you're liking the stream, make sure you leave this stream a like and also hit that notification bell so you know when to check out our streams in the future. We stream every Wednesday night at 8 PM. Be there or be square, as it were. As I can't see the notes, which is very annoying. There we go. I don't know why it's made like 10 pages or something, but we've got it in the end. As everyone is going to make their way onto their grid slot, and it'll be Ahmed that will be the last one to do so. No one has got disqualified from the formation lap, which is good news. Dry race at the moment. In F1 2021, in the real life Grand Prix, it had a sellout crowd. Well, the crowd loved this race as they did with the real life one. The 5 red lights are on. And we are underway. Let's see who has the best getaway into turn 1. It looks like Flexi is going to try and go on the middle here at the moment. But Kieran's going to try and go to the left-hand side. He's got a good run. But watch out for Flexi heading towards turn 2. Kieran and Flexi going side by side just before they head into the S's. We got a spinner. We got a spinner from Panos just before the S's. Hopefully a lot of people would be able to avoid that. Still more side-by-side action, which I have to say is crazy. But Flexi is leading this Grand Prix at the moment. Kieran in second. Matter in third. Casper's had a good start up to 4th position with his teammate Kyle not that far behind him. Mike's also had a good start as well on the mediums from I think 12th to 6th position. So brilliant stuff. Matt Ryan as well. All the medium runners so far doing pretty decently. But some of the soft runners just dropping off a little bit. Ahmed, don't forget, starting last. Matt Ryan is way into 14th place. He's already creepily making his way through the field right now, up into 13th place. There we could watch Matter, who got past, I think, Kieran into turn 12. And he's now up into second, and he's going to be chasing Flexi. And then we got Tony and Jack also having a similar battle as well into turn 15 and 16. Could one of them get the switch back? They made contact a little bit. Watch out for the adversary of Brandon, who's looking to capitalise on anybody's mistakes. Brandon is on fire. He's on the back of Jack. We'll see what he does when he heads towards the final 2 corners. Brandon has been having really good pace in some of these races, and he's looking to repeat that today. Past turn 20, final corner. Don't forget, no DRS is activated yet. And we can see Kieran and Casper having a little fight into turn 1. Casper just about holding on into 3rd place. Casper, though, trying to go on the attack, though he wants his P3 so bad. But we can see who is faster. Kyle as well, working together. Oh, I think we are starting to see a DRS train really start to form. This is what we like to see. Watch out for Mata. He's very close to the back of Flexi now. And he's got plenty of overtake as well. Is he going to dive up the right-hand side of Flexi into turn 12? Who's got better exit? We'll have to find out soon. They're trying to leave as much space as they can. It's going to be very, very tight as they head towards turn 12. Mata is looking left, then right. Which line is he going to take into this corner? Flexi's trying to stop Mata from getting in position. They're not giving up without a fight. Flexi retains P1. Mata had it for a little bit, but Flexi gains it back. Casper got past Kieran up into P3. So unfortunately, Kieran could not defend from Casper. Some nice side-by-side battling happening at the moment. It's absolutely crazy. So well done to all these drivers. To the Apple Towers are also fine there. That was a very close call from both of them. One of them was very late on the brakes. But I wonder if there's going to be any team orders being played by Brandon or Matt Ryan. Here comes Brandon to the right-hand side. Can he cover off Matt Ryan? There he does. Very, very nicely. Deck trying to do the same thing there into turn 2, but didn't quite make it work. Yuri as well. Gained quite a few places this race. He's doing a brilliant job. As we already got our first retirement, Ahmed in the S's, and we've already got a safety car. That is good news with your Panos because he just pitted. Panos is back in this race, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant stuff from the Ferrari. That was just good timing that he needed there. He was praying to the gods there. I kind of want to see where Panos retired. So not Panos, Ahmed. So where he retired. Oh, that is not a good place to retire, my friend. So, in my opinion, it's too early to pit. Maybe go on the hards to the end, but it's too early to pit for the medium compounder tyres. So, yeah, it's gonna be tight. Obviously, some people want that free pit stop. As obviously they are keeping to the delta at the moment. In real life, actually, not many safety cars around USA. As we're seeing Mata coming in, I wonder if he's going to pop on some hard compounder tyres. His pit crew is obviously the last to come in the pit box. Mediums. Surely that's a 2-star race. There's no way that's going to get to the end from here. Most people are going for mediums. That's surely going to turn for a 2-stop now for most of these guys. Flexi staying out. They're committed to the 1-stop. Same for Casper. Same for Kieran. Now, will they regret pitting, or will it turn out to work well in their favour? Because if they haven't pitted, then they can stretch out their sauce for a little bit longer, which means they'll be on fresher mediums later on, which could get to the end of the race, like I said. Safety cars could change everything, and it could work out in their favour. So, to be fair, I wouldn't know what to do if I was them. I would be absolutely clueless. That's where, in times like these, I kind of wish there was a Jeff in my ear, like a person I could talk to. Jeff, not the in-game Jeff, obviously, but yeah, a friend or something like that, a very close one, just so I can get a bit of support, obviously help and support. So I think the safety car, is it coming in this lap? Nope, it's not coming in this lap. So I think it'll be in for one more lap unless it decides to So obviously everyone's caught up now. Mixture of strategies. This could be game on. Remember, the first ever VSL race I commentated was around USA. It was pre-season. It was season 6. It was absolutely fantastic. If you want to check out the stream after this, please do. I will link it probably afterwards. But I remember that race to be absolutely incredible. It was just one of the most bonkers races I've ever commentated. There was just non-stop action. I just couldn't believe it. It was amazing. And Casper, obviously, looking to try and get P1 off of Flexi. And Casper wants to try and read Flexi's mind and see what is Flexi going to do on the restart. Same with Kieran and Mike as well. Don't forget the Constructors Battle is on the line. So it's not just about the drivers. It's about constructors too. Let's see who has gained the most positions thus far. So, Flexi up 2, Casper up 6, Mike up 7, Matt Ryan up 9, Deck up 3, Tony up 6, Ryan Berry up 4, Yuri up 3, and the rest of them have dropped positions. Kieran up, down 1, Pete down 3, Matta down 9, Kyle down 1, Kev down 6, and Brandon and Panos down 10. But don't forget, some people decided to do the free pit stop. They got to time this right. Safety car is in at this lap, and I just timed that right there, you see. There you go. Surely I was thinking everyone has caught up. Surely the safety car's got to come in this lap, and it is. So it is up to Flexi to back the field. And we will see then if he could pull away and get the restart of Dreams here. Because otherwise everybody else will breeze past him, and you don't want to be that if you're Flexi, so. Right. So here we go then. Flexi pulling away at the moment. I think he's had a good restart. He's had a good restart. And Kieran's had a good restart as well. Pete's out the race. Oh my God, there was... what happened there? Did he make... He must have made contact with someone. I won't be surprised if that brings out another safety car. But Matt Ryan has had a good restart as well. He's got past Mike up to 4th. Mike was caught a little bit off guard, but I would like to see what had happened from Pete's POV there. So one of he got caught out by someone, but this makes it a 3rd or 4th straight race in a row where Pete has just been very, very unlucky. And I need to actually get the bingo card, actually. The bingo card said Pete would not get lapped, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, yeah, we got quite a few bingo cards today. That could happen, like good bingo card scenarios. But here we go. We've got Flexi and Casper side by side. Casper trying to go to the right, the left. Flexi stays to the right. We got Kieran as well, looking to attack when the opportunity presents itself. Into this next right-hander of turn 16. Flexi just about holds on, but Casper's keeping it cool. Both of them are keeping it cool. Calm and collected. Casper and Kieran aren't the prancing horses. Flexi is defending for his life. Final corner of turn 20. Kieran is looking on fire at the moment on these soft tyres. Lap 7. Of 28 then as they go up the hill. No DRS yet, don't forget. Casper, I don't think it's close enough, but will Kieran be close enough? We don't know. No, I don't think Kieran is close enough. He's dropped back a bit in the S's. Maybe he's not as confident on the S's section compared to his rivals. So that is obviously something that he has to work on. What other battles do we have as well? We got Mata and Ryan Berry and Tony. They're all in an Alpine sandwich as well, and the DRS train is just growing and growing. There's about 2 DRS trains happening right now, so when the DRS is enabled, it's going to be game on. Mata knows that if obviously he gets the overtake, he's still going to get DRS anyway, so it's not going to affect him. Carl's looking like he's going to get the overtake as well. So who's going to blink first out of this DRS train? Looks like it's Kyle. To the left-hand side he goes, turn 12. Cuts it a little bit, but he can't afford to do that at the moment. Mata holds onto the right-hand side line, which could work well, heading through turn 14. Kyle now defends through 15. Carl up to 9th place. Brilliant stuff. And now his next target is Ryan Berry. Flexi has got his first 3-second time penalty of the day. We're starting to see more time penalties now. DRS is now enabled, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're within 1 second of the car ahead and within the DRS zone, you can go full attack when you head towards turn 11, which will be the next detection point. Carl's going for a brave move into turn 1. But he decided nope, he's having none of that at the moment. I think a better chance would be when he has DRS first, but he's looking so close to Ryan Berry's gearbox. I could just see that he wants to take quite a lot of risks here. He almost had a look once again. And don't forget, Mata is ready to respond as well. Mata does not want to be behind this, but he's on the mediums. We'll get the tyres up again, just so you're up with the tyres. Carl and Mata and Brandon and Yuri have pitted, so. And Casper got the move on Flexi. Casper's your race leader. Flexi in second. Kieran in third. And Kyle then trying to go for the move as he's gone for a bit of a spin as Kyle's retired on track. So I wonder what happened there to Kyle that caused him to be like, nah, he's ready to quit it. But yeah, again, that's something that I'm probably going to find out in the Twitter chat. It might be his controller's disconnected or something like that. Could be an issue there, but again, we will find out in either the YouTube chat or the Twitter chat. So, will we start to see people that have not boxed go in to pit onto the medium? So we've got the likes of Deck, Kieran, Flexi and Casper that will be thinking about pitting soon. Wow, look at this battle that we're seeing at the moment. Matt again past Tony. He's already starting to climb his way through the field. His next target is Mike, and then he's got his teammate Deck as well. Don't forget, Deck still has to pit. So, obviously, Deck will not be fighting, I don't think, for that position. I just doubt it at this point. So I'll go on the off-board shot as we head towards turn 11. And looking at Matta's ERS, which is quite a lot, but around about the same amount to Mike. So they're pretty much on an even playing field. Tony just a little bit further behind, but he's got Brandon and Ryan Berry for company. So he's got to get a move on ASAP. Coming up to the next right-hander, 15 and 16. Casper still edges ahead right now, which is crucial when it comes to the pit stops. Lap 11, lap 12 would be a decent amount. And I think this could be very close between the top three. Insane, but Flexi obviously has a penalty, so Deck will jump up. But Deck is the first person from the soft runners that have not pitted yet to go for the undercuts. That is probably the time I would have done to go and pit as well. So he's probably done the right thing there. Hards. Oh, hards are the more durable tyres, but that wasn't the tyres that I wouldn't have gone on, personally. but obviously that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, obviously. Obviously, Deck has come to his own at the end of the race. And obviously, he has some fresh softs just in case there is a safety car. There could be a safety car. Oh, we've got Kieran challenging for the lead. Kieran challenging for the lead. That was a late move, late on the brakes, which really helped him there. Casper was caught unawares there, and Kieran is your race leader. Mata is also in this fight as well. He could close up very, very soon. But watch Flex. He could get both of them potentially. That's very, very tight towards turn 15. I have to say, Kieran did an incredible job. Kieran took the risk and it paid off. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. As Mike's had a bit of a spin. So easy to do. So easy to lose the traction around turns 15 and 16. I've done it quite a few times around USA. USA is not the easy track to drive for me, which is why I'm glad I'm in the commentary box as everyone is closing up. Yuri is catching up to this bunch as well, but we're seeing more drivers in the pits. Casper's in the pits now. So where is Deck? Deck's heading towards the final corner. Bit of a squirmy on exit, so he's probably lost a bit of time. And due to the gap that Casper's got, Casper stays ahead. With Casper triggering the undercut, will he come out of this race in the lead once everyone on the softs have pitted? But the more crucial bit, obviously with the ones that pitted earlier, they have the advantage, but their tyres will go very quick and they will have to box earlier. Although potentially will be boxing again, so... Lap 11 of 28. 3 tenths of the gap separating between Kieran and Flexi. But we're seeing the two AlphaTauris fighting for position. Here they come then. This is getting tight. Brandon stays where he is. So does Matt Ryan. Obviously, we got Matt Ryan still yet to stop. Ryan Berry still yet to stop. Tony still yet to stop. And Mike, obviously, still yet to stop. And obviously quite a lot of people pitted under the safety car. But the question is, will their tyres get to the end? Kieran comes into the pits then. So what can he do from where he is at the moment? Will he come out ahead of Casper? Let's watch Casper. Casper's got a penalty. I wonder where he got it. Did he get it from spinning in the pit lane? He might have done. No, he didn't. He just got a straight 3-second penalty. That was close, but that undercut was crucial for Casper because Casper pitted 1 lap earlier. Casper's in the lead of the race, but Kieran's on fresher tyres. Kieran has no penalties. So as it stands, Kieran is your net race leader if everyone else was to box again. So obviously we got Flexi. He's probably regretting staying out for as long as he did. He probably did what I did in USA last week and missed the pit lane line, and you had to stay out 1 more lap. That was a bit of a killer, if you ask me. But there we go. But you make your bed and lie in it, and that's what you're going to try and do. Panos gets past Matt Ryan quite comfortably into turn 12. Or is he going to get it quite comfortably? Is Matt Ryan going to fight it on exit? He's not. He could try and get it on the next right hander. I thought Panos went a little bit wide there, but we also got the Red Bull of Yuri trying to join in this party too. This is sensational. I have to say Yuri's having a very good race so far, but I don't really want to say too much about the Red Bulls because I remember saying a lot about the Red Bulls last week, and we know what happened there. So I will shush at that point. Anyway, that puts Mata in the lead. Flexi is in. What tyres does he go on? Hards as well. So quite a few people on a mixture of tyres. So we'll see Casper coming past Flexi. So is Kieran. So the longer that Flexi stayed out, the more positions he has lost. That costed him. That definitely costed him. I learned the hard way on my race as well for staying out longer. Undercut is very, very powerful. If you've got a league race around here, go for the undercut. That is my advice. We've still got halfway. We've got still half race distance still to go. And we still don't know which is the best strategy. Obviously, the safety car could obviously change quite a lot. I did say the safety car could improve quite a lot on their strategy. That it could be people on a mixed bag at the moment. And Mata leads 3.6 seconds over Brandon. Brandon's got less DRS as well as Panos as well, so watch out for them. Yuri in 4th. Don't forget these drivers may have to pit one more time. Panos may not have to, but we'll see. Matt Ryan, 5th position. Kev, 6th position. Tony, 7th. The ones that just pitted, Casper is leading in that train. Then it's Kieran. Newgarden, I think, is in the train, obviously pitted under the safety car. Then we got Flexi, Deck, Ryan Berry, and then Mike. All the ones who started on mediums go onto the soft compounder tyres. I think that might be the option. But will have to be round about lap 18, lap 19, I would say. Mike was doing so well, but the strategy was caught off guard. To be fair, I don't know why Mike went on the softs. There is no way that the softs were going to get to the end. There was no way. So Mike will have to pick one more time as well. Maybe he wants to do two soft stints. Maybe he thinks that the 2 stops would potentially be the faster strategy. Anyone else in a battle? We got Casper and Tony. So Casper on the fresher tyres is coming into fruition, up to 7th. And I will talk to you a little bit about the obviously tyre difference, tyre degradation compared to obviously other tracks. So softs and the mediums, 1.3 second difference. Mediums and hards around about, let me just do the maths, 1.9 minus 1.3 is 0.6 per second. Yellow flag, Tony has had a bit of an off, or did he have an overtake? Or did someone overtake him? I think Kieran overtook him. But I did see someone go off. But we could see Casper having a bit of fight with Kev and Matt Ryan up ahead. Both of them on different strategies. Kev, I think, lets Casper through. Because otherwise it would have been a lot of trouble in the S's section. Matt Ryan, 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings for the AlphaTauri. I have to say Matt Ryan's keeping his cool. Again, not going to say too much about Matt Ryan either. I know people would want to say a lot more about Matt Ryan, but I'm not going to say anything. So, unfortunately, tough. As Panos gets past Brandon. So on those hards, maybe the mediums are starting to die a lot quicker than we thought. That is a bit of a shame. And maybe that's given Mata a bit of a worry at the moment. They're starting to see the people that obviously did not put under safety car really start to close in on this battle. So maybe the free pit stop has come back to bite them. Has Casper's had a bit of an off? But what a save though. I think he just about missed the wall. He was already climbing away, but he's got to cool down his tyres a bit, but that could have ended in a much bigger disaster than it did. That is a shame. That is a shame. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. Panos, 3-second time penalty. I did say time penalties could be a factor. And we could see a few people climb positions. if they climb positions like that, and if there's a safety car, it can ruin it quite a lot. Let me just get the tyres up so I can actually see the battles. Casper now trying to make his way through a lot of position. His body work, well, I think he might have got a bit of floor damage. It's hard to tell. We can see Kev trying to make his way through as well. Maybe Matt Ryan's mediums are starting to die a bit. Ugon getting himself a 3-second time penalty as well. He's just pitted though onto some fresh sauce. Let's see what he could do climbing his way through the field. Mike gets past Deck up into P11. He also pitted obviously for sauce, but those are not going to get it to the end. Casper, I have to say, is doing a big comeback. Comeback drive of dreams, I would have to say. As he's going to try and go for lunge on Matt Ryan. Very, very soon, heading towards turn 20 on the exit potentially. But he's not going to go for that exit. And we'll see. Casper, I can see, is a lot faster than Matt Ryan. Kev's into the pits. He's going to go to some soft tyres, which will get to the end of the race. Matt Ryan runs a bit wide. And Casper says, thank you very much. I'm up to 6th again. And now he's going to try and close in onto this battle once more that he should have been in. But unfortunately, he was not. I have to say, Casper, if I was a driver that had that spin, I would have obviously been very, very worried. And I think I would have been more stressful than what Casper was. But obviously, Casper's a lot faster driver than me, and obviously his mental strength is obviously more compared to me because he's obviously used to being in that position more than me. So Kieran up to 4th place, getting past the worn tyres of Yuri. Brandon is getting pressured by Panos because obviously Panos has the more durable tyres compared to Brandon. Panos up into P3. But can he get P2 off of Brandon? No, he can't. Not yet, but watch out for Kieran as he's going to be charging quite a lot here. Flexi, 1 second behind Casper. So I wonder if Casper's warm tyres are starting to hit him a little bit. And I wonder if that's affected his tyre wear a bit more as well. It is time to get your predictions in, chat, on who you think is going to be winning this race and who do you think is going to be getting on that podium. Will the ones in the top 3 have to pit again? I think so. And there's no way that they could get those tyres to the end. And Panos having a great battle with Brandon in the S section, which again reminds me of the Maggots and Beckett's complex. So Panos stays in 2nd. Will he be able to chase down Mata? If he does chase down Mata, that could be the sign that Mata could go on to the soft compounder tyres to the end, which could hurt his strategy a little bit. But with 11 laps to go, anything can happen. Kev pitted just now and he wanted to play it safe. Kev wanted to go on to the soft compounder tyres. I'm actually going to see if anyone has put their thoughts in the chat. No one has put their thoughts in the chat yet, so to be honest, it would be nice if you guys could put your thoughts in the chat. So, Brandon's only about 5/10 over Panos now, which is not much of a difference. So they could be battling until the end of the race, which is great to see. Brandon is really starting to come alive here. And as I was saying earlier, I'm a mind reader. Mata is going into the pits for his final stop. Brandon is doing the same. Panos could stay out for a little bit longer because he's on the hard compounder tyres. Tony has not made his stop yet. He comes in. Surely Matt Ryan has to come in as well, which he does, which I believe means that everybody has done their mandatory stop. But it still leaves Yuri and Panos ideally to do another stop because there's no way he's going to get to the end, and there's going to be people on fresh subs. They're going to be chasing and chasing and chasing, and there's no way they're going to hold on to P1. The Honda strategy is quite OP here. But if they can hold on to those positions with the tyre life that they got, that'll be very, very impressive, and that would definitely reward me. a Driver of the Day nomination. .7 seconds of the gap. Kieran is catching. Deltas coming into fruition here. Maybe panels will think maybe I could go on softs. Maybe if I could try and climb the positions up. Flexi has got past Casper. Flexi doing an astounding job. And it just goes to show that Casper's spin has cost him a little bit. If it was another medium runner that didn't spin, maybe Flexi would have find it a little bit harder to get past, potentially. Still plenty of opportunities. Don't forget, we've still got Panos. P1 in the championship, P1 on the road. Kieran, P4 in the championship, P2 on the road. Mata, P2 in the championship, P6 on the road. Flexi, P3 in the championship, P3 on the road. As we got Yuri into the pits for his final stop, and he's going to try and see if he can get some points in this race, which could be possible. He goes on to the soft compound tyres, and obviously Brandon will get past Yuri. Quite a few people actually. So Yuri will be in 9th, but penalties could change things, and Yuri would not hope for a safety car. I think the only ones that want a safety car are the ones without penalties and the ones that obviously need to stop because they get a free pit stop. So that would play well in penalties' hands, that will play well in Kieran's hands. But obviously Kieran will have the probably better advantage. Casper's starting to eat into Flexi once again. And we got Mata right on the back of this. Mata does not want to take any chance of staying behind these two. He just wants to get past. He just wants to get past. He's going to go for a late move. Turn 15, the first part of the double right-hander into 16. And he does it with ease. Mata is up into P4 of this race. And is now going to fight for the podium spot. He can still fight for the win of this race. It is not over. Mata has set the fastest lap of this race. He won the championship last season. He wants to fight for the championship this season, and he's looking like he's going to be the favourite at the moment. Flexi and Mata are going all at it. They're going side by side in the S's. Surely not. But Flexi backs off, and Mata having the pure pace advantage. Casper as well on the mediums though, fair play. Trying to get in this battle as well. So obviously Casper on the softer tyres, Flexi on the harder tyres. But Casper's tyres will probably not get to the end, whereas Flexi's will. Both of them a little bit squirmy on exit. So we'll see. I think they should be fine with ERS. Flexi though is harvesting. Oh, a bit tight once again. Few penalties actually. 3-second time penalty for Newgarden. Casper overtakes Flexi up to 4th. Can he challenge Mata now? It's going to be hard, but we will see. I will quickly remind you about the delta between the softs and the mediums. Now, don't forget, Mata has just pitted a lap ago. 1.3 seconds is the difference between the softs and the mediums. That is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. So, he could gain 1.3 seconds per lap. Newgarden's out. Newgarden's out the race. I think it's one of the second right-handers. Could we see a late safety car? Could this give the ones on the mediums a chance to go onto the soft compounded tyres? Or will there be no safety car? It's hard to tell. I can't see any of the boards tell me that it's a safety car yet. None of the boards are telling me it's a safety car. I don't know what happened to Newgarden, but I think somehow we got away with no safety car. Wow. So he must have had a moment off the track, or I'm almost certain, from Newgarden. And I think, obviously, Kieran was hoping for a safety car, but unfortunately, that didn't help him. The two Alpine drivers fighting. Tony up to 9th, now chasing down Deck. You got Casper and Flexi fighting once more. In to 14. Oh, this is accelerating racing. I could watch, obviously, Flexi and Casper race all day and not get bored of it. That's how exciting it is. And I think it get even tighter and tighter between these two. Casper versus Flexi. Turn 1 they go. Not the best camera angle. It's in nose cam. Just get out of nose cam, please. It's determined to not be out of nose cam. So I'm going to go on to the inboard shot. The onboard shot, I should say. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my words properly, which is hard to get at times. But this could go either way. This can go either way between these two. Watch out for Mata. 1.3 seconds. He's got to find 2 attempts and he's going to be within DRS of his championship rival. Mata could regain the championship lead if he gets past Panos, but obviously I can't remember the pit stops. And the points as well. So as it stands, but it could change due to the deltas of the tyres, because obviously it's a lot faster per lap. Kieran leads the race. Panos in second. Will Panos have to do another pit stop, like I said? Mata in third. Casper in fourth. But Mata is in a net P2 right now. If he gets past Panos, he could challenge Kieran for the win. But Panos is doing all he can to make sure Mata is behind him. But it may not last very long. Up the hill. Mata to the left-hand side. He had the most important move he had to do for his life, and he did it. Panos had no challenge. He stayed in P3. And now Mata's main target is to get that race victory over Kieran. It's Kieran versus Mata for the race win today. But don't count out Panos. Don't count out the soft runners. They're also trying to get near the hard and the medium runners as well that could get onto the podium. That almost touched Kev there for a slight moment. That was interesting, to say the least. That could have, again, ended up a lot worse. But we will see as Yuri has picked himself a 3-second time penalty due to multiple warnings. So, I'm surprised that more people got penalties, to be fair. I thought it would have been less, but a few people obviously pushing it to the limits. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people on penalties. Mata so close to Kieran, almost within DRS range. Mata got past Panos easily, but Panos was on the hards. It was a lot better than, obviously, the mediums to get past. The mediums obviously will be a lot harder. Panos gets a 3 seconds. Up to date on penalties, just in case people are jeffing. So, Panos is on 9 seconds. Cass is on 3. Flexi's on 3. Brandon's on 6. Yuri's on 9. Tony's on 6. Deck's on 3. Matt Ryan's on 9. And Mike is on 9 too. So those were your updated penalties. The top 2 that are currently battling for the race win do not have any penalties. But I will keep an eye on warnings, actually. I will keep an eye on warnings. Kieran's on 2 warnings. So if he gets 1 more warning, he'll get a penalty. He hasn't got any warnings since lap 13, though. Mata, hardly any warnings. So Mata's got a little bit more breathing space than Kieran here. So Mata would be under less pressure, but Mata doesn't know about Kieran's warnings. Only Kieran knows about the warnings. Situation. Here comes Mata to the right. Kieran defends to the left. It's going to be nail biting stuff. Who's going to be for the race lead? At the moment, it is Mata for the race victory. But Kieran is still hoping that Mata could make a mistake. Still a few more laps to go until the end of this United States Grand Prix. After tonight, we'll have 3 more rounds of this championship. This can make or break Kieran's chances of this championship. Mata, as it stands, would take the lead from Panos once again in this championship. And due to Panos' penalties, he will drop down to 4th place, I believe. So obviously, Casper had less penalties. Actually, no, Panos will keep 3rd because Casper's also got the 3 seconds. And speaking of Casper and Flexi, they're going to have a little bit of a battle once again. As Flexi gets past Casper, Flexi up into P4 once again in the number 96 car. Very close to my birth year. My birth year was 95, not 96, but there we go. .1 is the gap, so yeah, Kieran is already out of GRS range, so... But it's not over for Kieran. It's not over for Kieran. He can still get this podium. Panos has not pitted for softs. Neither has Flexi, neither has Casper, so Kieran is in a decent position, and he has no penalties either, so as long as he can keep penalty free, more points he can eat out of Flexi and Panos. What is the difference between Flexi and Kieran in the championship? Let me have a look. Let me have a look. If it will actually let me get the standings, that would be lovely. So between Kieran and Flexi, so Kieran was on 178. Flexi's on 205, so it's a 27-point difference. So I believe Flexi would be ahead. I don't know. But the gap would come down quite massively between the two. Ryan Berry, another penalty. Kev hasn't got a penalty, so Kev could actually get a good result out of this. Kev could jump up massively. And don't forget, we still got the fastest lap. If you're inside the top 12, and if you get the fastest lap inside the top 12, you will get an extra point. Brandon is at the moment will get the extra point for fastest lap. But can anybody stop him? Casper versus Flexi once more. This could go on until the end of the race. Will we see the tactic that Flexi would potentially want to stay ahead of Casper until the final lap? Because he's got the DRS. If I was him, I wouldn't go for the move. As long as you stay within Casper's pace, you should be fine. Because otherwise Casper's going to have the DRS. But Flexi wanted to go for the move anyway. Let me get penalties again, actually. Oh, I always get the wrong arrows. There we go. So obviously Casper and Flexi are on the same penalties. So this is for position. And we also obviously got to check how many warnings they have both got as well. Final lap of this race. Yellow flag. Oh, it's Yuri! Red Bull on for some points today. And he's hit something. I think he's got damage. And he's got a 10-second time penalty. He could be out of the points. Right, Jess, from next week, do not talk about Red Bull, okay? Do not talk about Red Bull. I talked about less about Red Bull this week, but to be honest, I think I shouldn't talk about anything else, to be fair. So, Mata is running out of words, but to be fair, that does not matter. Because he's in the lead anyway. 2.3 seconds is the gap. So, here he comes. A few more corners to go. We'll watch Flexi. Flexi Did the tactic that I was hoping he was going to do. Moves to the right-hand side. Could he get P4 off of Casper into this right-hander of turn 14? You treat it as one turn. Coming through 15 now and heading towards turn 16. We'll keep an eye on Matter as he gets through the final corner. Matter comes across the line and is your race winner in Kota. Kieran is on the podium. Brilliant stuff from him. Panos will get P3, but who's going to get P4? We shall find out. Flexi will get P4, Casper P5. Brandon will come across the line in P6. Tony, P7. Kev will come across the line in P8. He's got actually he'll jump quite a bit. Due to pens. Yeah, P7, not bad for him. Ryan Berry 9th, Deck 10th. Yuri will still be 11th, I believe. Actually, no, he won't because Matt Ryan's gaining. So Matt Ryan will be 11th, Yuri will be 12th, and then Mike will just miss out on the point. And has he run out? No, he's not run out of fuel, otherwise the red warning light would be as well. There we go then. Wow. Quite tense. But Matter having his celebration of success and does retake the lead of the Drivers' Championship. This could be an intense fight between Matter and Panos, but it is not over for Flexi and Kieran either, because Kieran has put up a stellar performance. I've got quite a few Driver of the Days actually. I do not know who to pick. I do not know. So, but obviously the other admins could pick as well in the Twitter account. So, here we go. Matter. Usual race winner. Kieran in second. Panos third. Flexi fourth. Casper, then Brandon, Kev, Tony, Ryan Berry, then Deck. In 11th place we've got Yuri, Matt Ryan, Mike, Newgarden. And any retirements are Kyle, Pete and Ahmed. I think Newgarden retired as well. But that is the end of the stream. We hope you enjoyed it. Final reminder to check our sponsor, RogueEnergy.com. You could get a 10% discount for all their products by using the code VSLF1, and that is the code on your screen there. I will get the calendar on your screen and I'll tell you that the next track is Mexico City, Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Another track where it's penalty central, so will the person with the cleanest head be the one that gets the biggest rewards? We'll have to wait and see. I've been JessGames95. I'm going to end the stream there. Hope you all had a good evening, and I will see you next week, same time, for the Mexican Grand Prix. Goodbye.